Hello, welcome to Sky Sweaty Record Review, episode 106. It's the only first listen new music review show hosted by a French professor immediately after leaving the YMCA. I'm actually in my car right now. It's getting a little bit hot. I'm going to roll down the window there. Oh no, what if people hear me? I guess I don't care anymore. Anyways, this is going to be recorded in the car, which means there'll be no sound played. I won't play any of the songs that I'm talking about. But after the copyright disaster that was my last episode about Star Wars, I don't think I'm going to include that. Someone just walked by. Old woman in a purple jacket. Oh well, I hope she likes the show. So today I'm going to be reviewing a band called BTS. And this is part of the series I'm going to call What Is. I get an Entertainment Weekly as a magazine. My daughter loves reading it. And they were on the front page. And I've heard about BTS, tons and tons and tons. I've heard about this band over and over again. And I don't really know what they are. I just know that they're called K-pop. That's it. That's all I know. K-pop. It's big. It's everywhere. I go to Hot Topic with my daughter, and their t-shirts are everywhere. And it's this thing that I hear about. But what is it? What is BTK? What is it about? Can I talk about it through my steering wheel? Why, yes, I can. First of all, it should be clear that BTS is not BTK. I think I called them BTK, which is the name of that serial murderer who would bound, torture, and kill people. Part of the reason I've never listened to BTS is I always think of that serial killer. And I don't like thinking of serial killers. But fortunately, BTS has nothing to do with them. Their new album is called Map of the Soul, Persona. So already, I want to get you in mind with what my expectations are. I've spent a fair amount of time in Korea. I lived there for like a month. I actually used to have a YouTube channel, my private YouTube channel. I uploaded Korean cartoons with English subtitles because I couldn't find them for my kids. It turns out I was the only place on the internet where you could get Pororo. So I had several million hits every week on my YouTube channel, my personal private YouTube channel. That's since been fortunately taken down by copyright. So I spent a lot of time. I went all over the country, to Yasu and Ondong and all these unknown places. But I particularly remember one drive where we were going to the demilitarized zone in between the north and south, which, by the way, is a waste of time. Go to other places in Korea. There's a lot better places in Korea than the demilitarized zone. But anyways, we were driving there and we were in this van of a tour company. And it was this weird thing because it was run by two guys who were just fighting in Korean the whole time, screaming and yelling at each other. And then, and they turn to us. Everything's fine. And then they go back to fighting. But the thing was, on the side of all the doors were all these pictures of these highly effeminate, men. Some of them had different colored hair, but it was the entire inside of this van was plastered with these pictures. And then we were listening to this music that was just unlistenable. It was so bad. It was the worst possible Britney Spears ballad, just on a loop with random male voices coming in and out. I asked them what the music was, and they pointed to one of the pictures of the people on the wall, and I said, okay, so that's Korean pop. So that's what I went into BTS thinking. This is going to be highly effeminate men singing love ballads that for some reason is popular in the West. I'm happy to say I was wrong. I was totally surprised by this album. I'm going to challenge this term, K-pop. I have a new term for K-pop. Are you ready? Pop. It's just pop music. That's it. It's largely in Korean, so I guess that makes it K-pop. But this is virtually indistinguishable from any other quality pop album that comes out in America or England or Australia. It's just not that different. What makes it different, I guess, is that the band themselves write all their own music. I've looked this up a lot. I think it's true. So there's 7 of them, so I guess together they all are able to make music. So in that way, it makes them actually better than most pop, because at least they are expressing themselves in some way. I did want to talk about the language usage in this album. I am a language teacher, and I find it really awesome and very heartening. Basically, there's a mishmash. In some songs, there's a little bit of French. In some songs, there's a little bit of Spanish. In every song, there's 20 words in English, but the rest is in Korean. And I think it's interesting because it's sort of the fact that everyone has to sing in English is evidence of American cultural imperialism, right? I mean, that's the American empire runs on music and movies, right? That's how we spread our thoughts and our beliefs, and that's how we dominate the world economically and spiritually. So to have this brought back to us and have like teenage girls going crazy over Korean men and not other way around, and have them not knowing what the words are but singing along because they like it, is a really nice sign of some lessening of this cultural imperialism, or at least it's changing its form. It's kind of a funny, I don't know, it's kind of a funny thing, and I think it's amazing and it's great that it's worked. If I had to sort of put this in a category, it reminds me most of listening to Will Smith, because like most of this album is like rapping, and that's what I didn't expect. The first track is called Intro Persona, which was surprisingly pretentious of a title, but it's like this rap song with like guitars on it, and it's not bad flows, you know, it's not bad rapping. I mean, I don't understand the words, I don't know if the lyrics are any good, but it wasn't at all what I was expecting. What I was expecting was something a lot more like, sorry, I have my notes here, I handwrote them this time, a lot more a song like Home, you know, which is a song where they sort of have, a song called Microcosmos, a song where you have kind of cheesy male ballad voices replacing one after the other, and I could picture them all singing on stage, doing, you know, very tight spins and then waiting for the next person to sing. But in general, the album isn't like that. It isn't really cheesy ballads. It's mostly like mid-tempo to up-tempo songs with some singing and then a lot of rapping. And the rapping, like I said, is not terrible. The next track is called Boy With Love. That's with Halsey, another pop singer. Kind of like a Get Lucky style funk guitar, disco guitar based pop song. Then Microcosmos, which I don't really like that much, but it's kind of like, you know, Chainsmokers and Korean. Although, of course, I like Chainsmokers. Probably the best track on the album, at least my favorite, is a song called Jamais Vu, which is French, but they don't sing in French in that song. But that's actually a ballad, and I didn't expect to like a ballad the most. But they repeat the hook over and over again. A rapper comes in at a certain point. It's like, give me a remedy, something like that, and then they go back into Korean. It's just worth having a listen to, just to sort of hear. If you want an example of what it sounds like, I would listen to that, or maybe a song that's really nice called Make It Right, which also gets Sky's stamp, which is cool because that one actually does have some French in it, but it has like this weird melody that's sung and then echoed by this kind of keyboard like honking sound. And it's just kind of an interesting production choice. And in general, there are a fair number of, you know, good production. It's very tightly produced. It's not overproduced. I maybe would have liked a little bit more interesting stuff going on in more of the songs. But I think a lot of the interest for the audience has to be which one of these 7 guys is going to do something next. And I don't know any of them. I've never listened to this band before half an hour ago, so I wasn't that excited about it. And then another pretty good one called Dionysius. It's kind of an upbeat, get psyched song. So if you like those kinds of rap songs that get you psyched, it's kind of like that. I mean, I don't know if I'd call it hip-hop, you know, because it doesn't really fulfill the societal or social function of hip-hop. In that way, maybe it really is like you know, late era Will Smith. It's more like hip-hop is just a way to like communicate a lot of information and have people with lots of attitude present themselves to the audience. I don't know. So there's BTS. What are they? They're a good pop band that writes their own songs. They're a heavily hip-hop fusion pop band that writes their own songs. They're an interesting linguistic mishmash of various Romance languages, English and Korean. If this is the future of pop, I think we're in a better place than we would be if the future of pop were in sync. So there you go. All right. Until next time. And there's not going to be any copyright problems now. So new music is the fountain of emotional youth. And there is the camera.